Welcome to Module 3, Lesson 2, How to Monetize Your GPT. And this is obviously an important element if you have hopes of making any money with the GPTs that you build. The first concept I want to discuss is the concept of value-based pricing. So let's start with what it is. So value-based pricing is a pricing strategy where you set your price based on the perceived value to your customer rather than the cost of creating your GPT. This focuses your value prop and pricing on your customer's willingness to pay based on their perceived value of the GPT. The value equation must always be positive in the minds of your customer, meaning they must always receive more perceived value from using your GPT compared to what they pay for it. So it's very important that kind of ROI calculation, at least in the minds of your customer, works out. So value is the first component. The second is defensibility of your GPT. If your GPT is extremely easy to replicate, then that needs to be factored into the price. Because if it's easy to replicate, that means you will potentially have a whole lot more competition, or your potential customer may just build it themselves. Or even worse, people may just use ChatGPT directly, which likely means you're not meeting the value or the defensibility criteria. Ultimately, the more defensible your product is, the more people will be willing to pay for it because there's likely fewer GPTs like it. Again, making your GPT defensible and building a moat around it comes down to three things, like we talked about last time. The data you use, hopefully it's proprietary or unique in some way, your custom instructions, and what other systems you're connecting to via APIs through the actions capabilities in the GPT builder. Next, I want to get into some alternative ways to think about monetizing GPTs that you may not have thought of. The first is making your GPT free. Yes, I said free. Now this may seem counterintuitive, but hear me out. GPTs are going to be a great lead gen tool to attract prospects to your core business, your offerings, or if you have other GPTs that do cost money, this could be a way to create lead generation for those, getting people comfortable with your free ones so they'll then pay for your ones that cost money. The first step is identifying some great use cases related to your business. Then once you have a GPT created, you can use that as your free hook or tip of the spear offering in exchange for an email or something else of value that's not monetary. And then that allows you to have an ongoing communication with that prospect to potentially upsell them to your other paid offerings. So it's a great lead gen tool, tip of the spear, Trojan horse, whatever you want to call it. It's a great way to start identifying and getting prospects more familiar with you and your brand. Another way to think about it is adding custom GPTs as free value adds to your existing services or embed them into your existing products. While they may not be priced separately, they're adding value to your existing offering, in turn making it more valuable and defensible, going back to the concept of how you price your GPT. The next alternative way you can think about monetizing your GPT is selling your ability to build GPTs for others as a service. This is a great way to start a business as it requires very little overhead. Again, value-based pricing is still ideal here. Base the pricing on the value the user will receive for the GPT you're building for them. However, straight hourly pricing is still acceptable here as well in this model. This is also a great way to make money while you're ideating on GPTs you want to build and sell directly. It's like having someone pay you to get better at your craft and learn new industry use cases, pain points, and all that stuff in the process. Now that you figured out the price for your GPT, where do you sell it? And the most straightforward answer here is the GPT store. In order to do that, you need to make sure your GPT is public when you save it. It has to be public in order to be on the GPT store. Now, as I'm recording this course, the GPT store has been announced that it's launching next week. So once that's live, I will get a new video uploaded detailing how to navigate and use the GPT store.
What's up, y'all? Like I promised, I'm back now that the GPT store is live to take you through it. So here's the actual announcement from the GPT store launching. They give you some details about it. They show you how to discover what's trending in the GPT store. They talk about how new GPTs will be featured every week, kind of like what the Apple App Store does. And now you can include your own GPTs in the GPT store. Like we said, you got to make your GPTs public for them to be in the store. You also have to create a builder profile. So just really quickly, if you go over to the settings in ChatGPT, you will see down here now builder profile. So that's where you'll go in and configure that. So make sure you do that if you do want to have your GPTs on the GPT store. Now the piece that y'all are really interested in, the monetization side. Now they launched it, but the one glaring thing they missed is actual monetization. So it says, they kind of tease it here, builders can earn based on GPT usage. In Q1, and this is 2024, we will launch a GPT builder revenue program. As a first step, US builders will be paid based on user engagement with their GPTs, and we'll provide details on criteria for payment as we get closer. So a couple of key things here. The first thing is, you see it's only for US based. Obviously, I think they'll extend that further out as they go, but kind of testing, I guess, as a initial launch in the US. The second big thing is the revenue model will be based on user engagement. So this is very similar to how YouTube's doing it. Also, like the TikTok Creator Fund, based on how much, for them videos are being viewed. This is similar in terms of how much your GPT is being used. And that's how they'll determine how much you get paid for your GPTs. Now, this could be minuscule amounts, and maybe only the ones that have hundreds of thousands of users engaging with it make anything meaningful, but we'll just have to wait and see. But one thing you can do if you go over to the GPT store, so here's the store here, you can go in, and if you go to the search, you'll see GPTs now show how many people have engaged with the GPT. So like Code Tutor, over 100,000 people have used this. Crypto price provider, only one, right? So let's go in and just hit like design tools, like web design, GPT, 900 people, design critique, 1,000 people, design assistant, only 90. So that's where they're showing the engagement and how it will be based. One other cool thing they did drop, not really related to monetization, but if you have a team account with your company, you can share GPTs and keep them private within your team. So really cool if you're creating GPTs for your internal processes and things like that. Kind of a nice advantage there. It has a lot of admin functionality as well. We have this in my company, and it's working pretty great so far. And the last thing is in the actual GPT store. So you'll see those featured ones. Right now, when this is being recorded, it's around the Super Bowl. As you see a big game party planner going on. So you see the different categories up top where you can go down and, sort through writing, productivity, research and analysis. So, it does kind of start to have that App Store feel in a sense. We'll see how it evolves though, but that's how far monetization has gone in the GPT store. When the revenue model actually drops, I'll come back, drop another video, give you all the take on it.
The other route is to use creator tools such as Gumroad. And these are great tools if you want to create your own curated page of GPTs. It's also great if you have other services you want to sell along with your GPTs. Now, I use Gumroad, as you know, because that's where you found this course. And just to really quickly show you, it's a cool tool. I have some different GPTs in here, and it's very easy to use. And we'll go into one as an example. You simply come in, say new product. You can search by all these different types of products, and you set a price. I'll go into an existing one just to show you what it looks like. Let's go into this content repurposer GPT. You give it a name, a description. You can give it a specific URL just for your own organization and making it easier for you. You can connect it to a custom domain if you want. Add a cover photo, which I created with DALL-E 3, a thumbnail. You can add a call to action, a summary, add any details you want. So lots of cool functionality here. You can add a price. This one I have for free, like we were just talking about. This one's more of a lead gen type of GPT. And there's some different settings and ways to tweak it. And then you can go into the content itself, and I'm simply giving the link after somebody has purchased this GPT. And it's as simple as that. You save the changes and there it is. So now that you have a better idea of how you can monetize your GPT, your action item is to actually put a price on your GPT. Put it out there. Don't overthink it though. Just put a price out there. You can always change it later. You're not doing pricing for some huge multinational company that's going to have millions in impact, right? So try it out there. I recommend starting with some free lead gen GPTs, especially if you're new. Get people comfortable with your skill set of building GPTs with some great free ones, and then have some really awesome paid ones that you can also provide after they've seen value in the GPTs you create. As always, if you're finding value in this course, share it with your friends, your family, colleagues, whoever. And if you can, leave a testimonial. We appreciate it.